My name is Sid Parker with Environmental Supply. We're the manufacturers and engineers of the Storm Tanker water tank, as you see to my right. What I want to do in this video is kind of go over the specifications and the features of our tanks. This is a 250-gallon tank. We also make this exact same shape of a tank in a 185-gallon tank. This is by far our strongest tank with this shape in both the 250-gallon size and the 185-gallon size. Let me tell you why. What we've done when we engineered and designed this, we gave it 12 sides. So we have 12 sides, which also creates the 12 bends in the tank. Whenever you want to gain strength in flat surfaces, whether it be plastics or sheet metal, you'll either put bends or you'll put U grooves or V grooves, and that creates a lot of sidewall strength. That's exactly what we did here. We've got the 12 bends in our sidewall, which gives us a whole lot of strength and rigidity in our tank. The other thing that we did is we increased the thickness of the sidewalls of our tank. The nominal thickness on our tank is about 1/4 inch all the way around. So our tanks are built to 13 pounds per gallon strength rather than water weight, which is 8. So in comparison to a strictly water weight tank, we're 5 pounds heavier than we need to be. The reason being is where we manufacture these here in Utah, we live in an earthquake zone. We wanted our tank to be built well enough to withstand it if something was falling on it. But we also send a lot of these tanks to the East Coast, where that's a hurricane and tornado zone. And again, we want our tanks to be strong enough that they would withstand if something was flying into them. So we have overbuilt our tanks to 13 pounds per gallon, as well as our 12-sided design gives it a whole lot of strength. When they're filled up, there is no expansion. I mean, when you fill this tank totally full, it starts out at 30 inches wide. When it's full, it ends up at 30 inches wide. It's a very well-built, well-designed tank. The other neat thing about it is we've embedded 2 earthquake strap points, or earthquake or hurricane strap points, depending on what part of the country you're in. Our straps that we've designed, or not designed, but we've acquired to go along with our mounting kit, these straps mount within that groove, making it so that if there starts to rock and roll or the wind's blowing quite hard, that strap will stay within that groove, helping the tank to stay put, helping it stay upright. And that's one of the nice features about our tank. The other nice thing about our tanks is our heavy-duty ball valves. You've got 2 ball valves, heavy-duty brass ball valves, the lead-free ball valves on every tank. The one is at the bottom for draining. The other one's up 22 inches and offset. The nice thing about that is you can slide your water jugs, your water buckets, whatever, underneath there, open up the valve and fill them up. Really easy to get your water out. Now naturally, when the water gets below that point, you're going to hook your hose onto the bottom valve and continue to get your water out. The other nice thing about the placement of the bottom valve is when you want to rotate your water. Let's say this tank was in the garage and you wanted to rotate your water, you could just hook a hose on the bottom valve, run it out to the lawn, run it out to the flower bed, open up the valve, drain the water out. When it's empty, close the valve, stick the drinking water safe hose on top and fill it back up. That's all there is to it. There's a 7-inch lid on top for filling your tank. So those are some of the really nice features of our tank. It's overbuilt, it's extra strong. You got 2 heavy-duty valves, you got the earthquake strapping points on it. Now let's go over the mounting kit that we've designed for it. There's 5 items in our mounting kit. You've got the platform that you see our tank sitting on for this demonstration. You've got the straps and the bolts. The strap that I was illustrating that goes in the earthquake point. Then you've also got the bolts that go in the studs, the eye bolts that the straps hook to. You've got the drinking water safe hose that comes with it for filling your tank. And then you've got the water preserver and purification kit that comes with it. So you've got those 5 items. Now the neat thing about the water purification kit is that you'll use this when you fill up your tank. You'll put the copper silver nitrate, which is this part of your kit, You'll put that in your tank. That preserves and purifies your water for 5 full years. That means you don't have to rotate the water yearly. You just mark a date on the tank or somewhere and just keep track of it, so that in approximately 4.5 to 5 years you either refresh with more copper silver nitrate, or you empty the tank, fill back up, and start over again. Now there's also a little test kit in here that you can test your water, whether it be this water or another water source. You can test to make sure it's safe to drink before you drink it. Let's go over the platform real quick. There's some discussion on whether platforms are necessary. Let me give you my opinion on that. If the tank is going in your garage where it's susceptible to fuel spills, oil spills, lawn chemicals, bug sprays, things like that, I highly recommend you put it on a platform. That way you'll protect the tank, you'll protect your water from those sorts of chemicals. If it's going in your basement on cured concrete, it's up to you. The platform's not going to be totally necessary. There isn't going to be any leaching that happens from the concrete into your water. I mean, the plastic is the type of plastic that will block that, as well as the thickness of it. Leaching is not going to be a problem. The water and food does take on the flavor of whatever it's stored on or by. So there is that chance your water may end up tasting like concrete, which isn't going to be a real big deal. It's going to be safe to drink, and you're going to drink it if you need it. But in a garage, I highly recommend you do put it on a platform, whether you use ours or whether you build your own. Let me tell you what we've done with ours that we feel is kind of neat. We basically take 2x12s from the lumber yard, and we cut them to length, and then we cut them the shape of our tank on the front side. And then we round over all the edges on the front, bottom, and sides so the air can get back underneath. Just in case water gets spilled and flows back underneath there, air can get in and dry it out so mold doesn't grow. So we feel like that's pretty important, and makes this particular platform nice. So the air can get in there, it's shaped the shape of the tank, so it looks good. That's kind of, my opinions on the platform. You'll have to use your own discretion on that, but in a garage, again, I highly recommend it. In the house, it's your choice. Let's go ahead and stop right there. Let me go over one other item of convenience about our large water tanks. The space savings on them and water access makes these really, really nice. Our tanks are 30 inches wide, 30 inches deep, and 7 feet 2 inches tall. The nice thing about that is they're not much bigger than the footprint of a 55-gallon blue barrel. So what that means is, in the same footprint as one blue barrel, I can get the quantity of water of almost 5 blue barrels. But again, in the space of one blue barrel. So I save a lot of room in my garage or in my house. I can get 250 gallons in a small footprint of space, and not take up the whole room or the whole wall with barrels. The other nice thing that I went over before is just access of water with the 2 valves. It's easy to slide my buckets and water jugs under the top valve and fill them up. It's easy to drain my tank and refill with the bottom one. Let's go ahead and stop there.